John 4:24, God is spirit, and those who worship him must do so in spirit and in truth. But what is worship? Mike Wilkerson actually drafts up some great framework inside of his book, Redemption. To give a little context, he says, some treat God as a debtor, holding him responsible for their pain and believing they are owed a free pass for sins of pleasure and escape in trade for their undeserved suffering. Others live a life of despair in a world they believe is controlled by a heartless mastermind, pulling the strings of the universe with no compassion for people afflicted by evil. Some treat God as though he were the source of a better high or a better escape than the drug of their choice. Rather than trying to write God into our stories, we would be wiser to sit patiently with our Father and let him tell us his. As he tells us the story, we must be willing to let go of the stories we've told to make sense of our lives. We must let his story rewrite ours and sweep us into something much greater than ourselves. To be human is to worship. Worship is not just singing songs in church, it's how we live our lives every moment of every day. Every thought, every word, every deed, feeling, and desire. You can't turn off worship. It's your basic human wiring. You might imagine yourself as a sort of human billboard always advertising what you find to be important, valuable, worthy, what you pay attention to, how you spend your time, the way you work, how you relate to others in your life. All these things broadcast your heart's worship, making visible and advertising what is most important to you. God created you to broadcast him. Mike Wilkerson goes on to write, sin corrupts worship. We never stop worshiping. Rather, in sin, we worship anything and everything other than God. We tend to exalt a substance, an experience, a person, or a dream to the level of a God. We define life by its attainment, and we feel like dying when it eludes us. It becomes bigger in our eyes than God himself and takes his place in our lives. The Bible calls this idolatry. So addictions, for example, aren't just drug, alcohol, food, or pornography problems. They are worship disorders. They flow from hearts bent on worshiping created things rather than the Creator. So truthfully, what are you worshiping? And are you worshiping the right thing? What you spend your time on, what you spend your energy on, your focus on, what internal dialogue you're telling yourself, that's what you're worshiping. My question for you is, with this given framework, does that change how you view worship? And is there something that you need to stop worshiping?